Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here. We know the problems and challenges facing our state. Spending's out of control, taxes too high, governments reach into our lives, and overregulation of our businesses far too extensive. And most troubling to me, given my background as a former trooper and former sheriff of Erie County, is the culture of corruption that we've seen in Albany. Perhaps the worst that we've seen in any other time in our lives. We know the problems. The question is, who do you trust to fight for the change we so desperately need? And that's what this campaign comes down to in my mind. Trust. We've lost our collective trust in government. We've lost trust in our representatives. We must send somebody to Albany that we can trust to properly represent us. I've honored the public trust my entire adult life. First as a state trooper, then very visibly as your sheriff. I have a record of standing up for what's right and not shying away from difficult challenges. I'll stand up to the special interests so we can cut state spending. If we cut state spending, we can cut state taxes. If we cut state taxes, we can foster a better business environment. If we foster a better business environment, businesses will create new and much needed private sector jobs. And most importantly, our families and businesses and children will prosper. I support strict spending limits on every state agency, cracking down on Medicaid fraud and abuse, cutting income and business taxes, a property tax cap, reinstatement of the STAR program, term limits and true ethics reform, independent redistricting, and the Second Amendment rights of gun owners. That's where I stand. I've been honored with your trust before. And if you honor me with your trust again as your state senator, I'll fight for you in Albany. Thank you.
All right, speaking second is David Pietro.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I was the mayor in East Aurora. What I did in East Aurora, I reformed government to the point that in the last 5 years there hasn't been another candidate or politician who has a record as good as mine was. That's real reform, downsizing government. I'm a small business owner. I employ people. I'm the only conservative in this race. I'm running against a Democrat and a former Democrat sheriff who was endorsed by the Liberal Party. And I want to make something very clear, because I've been attacked on my record by the sheriff. And he's running as the sheriff. He's running on his badge. You see his ads, they all show him in uniform. Let's talk about that. He called me, he said I used a trooper as on the Bucky Phillips issue. He talks about trust. Is trust double dipping your pension? Is trust having to pay back over $11,000 to the state because you took an illegal pension? Is trust something that if he gets this job, he could actually collect 3 state pensions? Is that what we're looking for in New York State? Aren't we upside down? Haven't we had enough of that kind of politicking? He's endorsed by every politician in New York State. Al D'Amato, Tommy Reynolds. When he was elected, Dale Volcker himself said Albany is ecstatic that he's been elected in the primary. What does that tell you? To me, I'm the Tea Party candidate. I'm totally independent. I don't have special interests dripping all over me. I will go up there and fight like I did here in Aurora and as a small business person to do what's right for New York State. Difficult times call for drastic measures by real people. And I tell people, if you want the same old, if you love Albany, and raise your hand if you do, then please vote for my opponents, because nothing will change. If you'd like something different, actually have a chance at the one person who will stand up if it's 32-30 and stop that budget, that's me. Thank you.
Speaking next is Cynthia Appleton.
Thank you. I want to start off by thanking the people of Erie County for giving us this opportunity. I've been in all 4 counties today, so it's nice to stop and stay in Erie County for a while. And I want to thank the League of Women Voters for the opportunity to come here today. It's very important that the voters hear from the candidates so that they understand that they have very real choices on Election Day. So I want to thank the LWB, and the Aurora Senior Center for providing this public service tonight. My name is Cynthia Appleton. I'm running for the 59th State Senate District, and I am not a career politician. I'm a nurse, a wife, a mom, and I know we're never going to get things back on track unless ordinary people get involved. My absolute priority is serving the 59th District. It would be jobs. We all know that the last generation in Western New York, we've hemorrhaged jobs and people. We raise and educate our sons and daughters here only to face the sad reality that they're going to move to North Carolina or some other place in order to get employment in their fields. While this is painful on a personal level, it's also a disaster for this region. We're losing our best and brightest while the population that remains here ages. It's not a healthy situation. So we need to be smarter about how we leverage our assets so we can get some good results. We need to use the district's strong foundation in agriculture and in education institutions to create green jobs. This area of New York is potentially a prime laboratory of innovation in green technology. That would mean we're creating careers, not just low-paying jobs. That would help keep our young people here to raise their own families and help us prosper across the board. And to make improvements like this, we need to clean up Albany and make it work for all of us again. And I thank you very much and look forward to hearing for your questions, and thank you for having me.